You're listening to Life, Adulting, and Everything in Between, a podcast that challenges you to elevate to the next level with host and certified life coach Erica Q. Let's get into this week's episode.
Hello out there, all you beautiful, amazing, wonderful people. I am Erica Q, the Empowerment Coach, coming to you live with another episode of Life, Adulting, and Everything in Between. 10 minutes with a life coach. And today I will be talking about conflict management or conflict resolution, whichever you prefer, but they both pretty much mean the same thing. I just feel that this topic isn't usually discussed as often as it should be. We, meaning as a society, tend to focus on the offense, but we don't try and reach a resolution in many situations. And we, once again, meaning a society, would rather walk around offended than walk around healed and whole. So, before I get into this topic, I just want to welcome any first time listeners and just say thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. I am a certified life coach and I am very passionate at helping individuals live their best life. So, okay, now that you know who I am, let's get into our topic for tonight: conflict resolution or management. Basically, conflict management refers to the way that you handle disagreements, and conflict resolution refers to the process of ending a dispute and reaching an understanding that satisfies all parties involved. So, it's totally normal and human, of course, to deal with conflict and by defaulting to whatever is comfortable with us. Not saying that what's comfortable is healthy, but usually when we deal with conflict, we do default to whatever is comfortable for us. So none of us are immune to conflict, and it's a normal part of life for sure. But however, conflict management or resolution should be used to handle conflicts with fairness and efficiency. And maybe if we did use some conflict management and resolution, we would have friends talking to friends and family members talking to family members and so on and so forth. But anyways, there are 5 types of conflict management styles depending on the personality type you are dealing with. I'm just going to run through them quickly because y'all know that I am always trying to stick to this 10 minutes. However, I would like to share 3 questions that you can kind of consider when you're dealing with conflict resolution and some valuable skills. And if I have time, I will expound on those, but some valuable skills for conflict management. So, geez, I have a lot to squeeze in to this 10 minutes all the time. Ay vey. So, the 5 types of conflict management styles are accommodating, avoiding, compromising, collaborating, and competing. So I will probably do a part 2 podcast to kind of break down those 5 styles. But anyways, moving on, some questions you should consider asking yourself when dealing with conflict resolution. Number 1, how much do I value the issue being discussed and the person with whom there is conflict? So basically here you're determining, how much value you give to a person or an issue, and that can help you decide the best plan of action in reaching a resolution. Number 2, do you know what the consequences are? So the thing to understand here is whether you give in or you stand your ground, that consequences will follow. So however you determine, when you determine, what the consequences are, that could help you in making a more informed decision. And there's nothing wrong with that. And question number 3, Do you have the time and energy to pursue the argument? I think that one is very important. Sometimes people don't feel like they have the time or the energy just because they don't want to put in the effort to reach a resolution. Um, I am for reaching resolutions, but if you can sleep well at night, then I guess it's all good. But question number three, do you have the time and energy to pursue your argument? So this is really just about prioritizing. So remember that these are just some questions to consider asking yourself when dealing with conflict resolution. Now, lastly, some valuable skills for conflict management and resolution. So, having the right skills is definitely key to effective conflict management and resolution. So, here are some skills, and I'll kind of break it down for you. Positivity. So, the ability to avoid using the blame game and realize that everyone makes mistakes so as to avoid creating more conflict. Number two, patience. The ability to be patient and not be provoked in unnecessary conflict. Um, Number three, I'm sorry, in necessary conflict. Number three, discussion. The ability to be open to discussing matters instead of only sharing your opinion with those who agree with you. Four, listening. The ability to actively listen, which that's important, look that up, actively listen to the other person without jumping to conclusions or making assumptions. Number six, communication. Is this number six? I don't even know. I feel like it's five. The ability to speak in a polite manner. Next one, facilitation, the ability to bring opposing groups or people together to find a solution. So you have to understand that sometimes you're just going to be the man in the middle, woman in the middle, friend or family member in the middle. So sometimes conflict resolution or management might look like you're actually facilitating the conflict. So that's why I put that one in there. Mediation, the ability to mediate and facilitate the process of finding a solution. Uh, Impartiality, the ability to separate the conflict from the person to get a solution. Next, empathy, the ability to put yourself in the other person's place to experience what the other person is feeling. Emotional intelligence, the ability to control your emotions to avoid them getting the best of you during an argument or disagreement. Stress management, the ability to manage your stress properly so as to not make the situation worse. Responsibility, the ability to take responsibility for your actions. Assertiveness, the ability to stick to your opinion and stand up for your rights. And even when you're being assertive, you can be assertive in a non rude way. Okay, so sometimes people kind of misconstrue assertiveness and they're just flat out rude. So I just wanted to point that out. Um, Also, decision making, the ability to make decisions about whether to pursue the conflict or not. Humor, the ability to use humor appropriately to diffuse the situation and make it easier to find an agreement, which I think is so important. Problem solving, the ability to solve problems efficiently. Open communication, the ability to be honest during an argument or disagreement for an easier resolution. Avoiding criticism, the ability to present your argument without criticizing the individual opposing you. Nonverbal communication, which is really important. The ability to be respectful with your nonverbal communication by not rolling your eyes or mimicking the person that is opposing you or the individual you're in conflict with. or conflict resolution, hopefully, and perception, the ability to be perceptive in a conflict to find a solution. Let me tell you how happy I am. I am done. Yes, 10 minutes for sure. Zooms pass when you're having fun, but I am glad that I got all that in my 10 minutes. So I will definitely revisit this topic with a part two and share the 5 conflict management styles, of course, in greater detail. But I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in this evening. I am Erica Q, the Empowerment Coach, and this is the Life, Adulting, and Everything in Between 10 Minutes with a Life Coach podcast, brought to you every first and third Wednesday of each month. So just make sure to like, subscribe, and follow so you don't miss out on anything. Good night and God bless.